Imagine an artist whose camera lens was less a tool of documentation and more a sensitive, empathetic heart. For decades, this gentle witness walked the sidewalks of the world's most romantic capital, capturing the tenderness, the mischief, and the quiet dignity of its inhabitants. He immortalized those moments that pass in a breath, offering us a profound, timeless connection to the human condition itself. This is the story of that gaze. Photographic Inspiration presents Meet the Master Series. Robert Doisneau.
We celebrate timeless photographic art, distinguishing it from transient trends.
Bonjour. We invite you now to step fully into the world of Robert Doisneau, a name synonymous with the poetic heart of 20th century France. Born in 1912 in Gentilly, a working-class suburb of Paris, Doisneau was more than just a photographer. He was a gentle chronicler, a visual poet who transformed the mundane into the magical. His black and white images are a timeless love letter to Paris, its people, and the small, fleeting moments of humanity that often go unnoticed. This is the story of the man who captured the marvels of daily life. Doisneau's early life was marked by loss, and he was raised by an aunt after his parents' deaths. He initially studied engraving and lithography at the École Estienne, where he earned an engraver lithographer diploma. This gave him a mastery of craft that would later serve his visual composition. He began his professional career selling his first reports to the daily newspaper L'Excelsior in 1932. In the 1930s, his career shifted. He briefly worked as an industrial photographer for the Renault car factory, a stint he later called the end of his youth. It was in 1939 that he lost this job for repeated lateness. It was an environment ill-suited to his free spirit, and he later confessed, "I've made every possible mistake, because I don't like to obey orders, and I always question what I'm told. So I have to try out everything for myself, and that has led me into many dead ends." The streets were, however, his true school. In that same year, 1939, he met Charles Radeau, founder of the Rotho Photo Agency, and became an independent photographer. During the war, Doisneau joined the French resistance, using his engraving skills to forge passports and identification papers, a remarkable hidden chapter showcasing his commitment. Post-war, he quickly returned to the Rotho Agency, now headed by Raymond Gross, and even did work for French Vogue for a few years, from 1949 to 1951, but his heart belonged to the working-class districts and suburbs of Paris, the banlieue. It was also in this post-war period that he began working closely with major figures like the poet Jacques Prévert and the writer Robert Giraud, often pairing his images with their words. Doisneau is a champion of humanist photography, a movement that sought to celebrate and document the daily life and dignity of ordinary people, often with a generous blend of humor and tenderness. His style is often compared to that of his contemporary, Henri cartier-bresson. Yet where cartier-bresson focused on the decisive moment of pure chance, Doisneau confessed to a softer, slightly more deliberate approach. He often preferred to set up a scene slightly or wait for an expression to capture the atmosphere he felt. He explained this deeply personal philosophy beautifully. The world I was trying to present was one where I would feel good, where people would be friendly, where I could find the tenderness I longed for. My photos were like a proof that such a world could exist.
His work is characterized by a poetic gaze, finding beauty and pathos in simple things like the schoolboy's tooth, a scene of spontaneous fun, or the quiet poetry of bicycles. Ironic juxtaposition, mingling social classes, or finding absurd, gentle humor in a scene, often without malice. Authenticity and brotherliness. He famously said, "I like people for their weaknesses and faults. I get on well with ordinary people. When I photograph them, it is not as if I were examining them with a magnifying glass. It's very brotherly. And it's better, isn't it, to shed some light on those people who are never in the limelight?" He explained his philosophy beautifully, saying, "The marvels of daily life are exciting. No movie director can arrange the unexpected that you find in the street." No discussion of Doisneau is complete without his most famous image, Le Baiser de l'Hôtel de Ville, or The Kiss by the City Hall from 1950. For decades, it was held up as the pinnacle of candid Parisian romance, a spontaneous, passionate moment captured mid-stride on a busy street. However, the truth is more complex. It was a staged photograph for Life magazine. Doisneau spotted the young couple, who were aspiring actors, and simply asked them to pose, repeating the kiss for his camera. This moment of gentle artifice perfectly underscores his belief that photography is a subjective document, a kind of benevolent lie to create more beautiful truth. Other notable works include Picasso's Loaves in 1952, a surreal, playful image of two loaves of bread shaped like hands placed on a table in front of the artist Picasso. The Indignant Lady in 1948, part of his series on art gallery window shoppers, a perfect capture of domestic drama and gentle irony. Robert Doisneau's images have cemented an idyllic, poetic vision of post-war Paris that continues to resonate globally. His genius was widely recognized throughout his life, culminating in the French National Grand Prize of Photography in 1983. Fellow photographer and friend Kertesz summed up his unique contribution: Doisneau's magic is simple. He is the photographer of the street, the one who takes it as it is, but gives it a soul. Doisneau's simple yet profound advice for photographers, and perhaps for life itself, was to suggest is to create, to describe is to destroy. His long, wonderful life of capturing the free and permanent show of the street ended on April 1st, 1994. But his vast archive of nearly 500,000 negatives ensure that his poetic gaze on the human condition will continue to walk the streets of the world for generations to come.
We celebrate timeless photographic art, distinguishing it from transient trends. Your support empowers us to continue this cultural and educational journey.